guys, I hope you're doing well. I am coming in to just show you a quick flip through of what I have in my March journal, my March creative journal. I made this journal by laminating some sequins and folded it in half. It made the journal really bulky and I put way too many papers in it. So I wouldn't recommend this technique, but I do love the journal I have right now. I have this cover page and it has Pocket Journal Pam and Susie's Tiny Desk artwork on the front. And it's just an intro to the month and the year. So, yeah, and I have some holographic tabs that I got from the office supply aisle. This is the first day I journaled. I don't journal about every single day of the month because I'm doing illustrations and other projects at home. The cat on the books is from Pocket Journal Pam, and the library image is from Susie. And I made the little alien girl and the lamb, and February and June made that statue with the butterfly wings. This spread is an easier spread. It is like a weekly look and a brief summary of what I did for the week. I do have, I think, a video on here or on my Patreon about the process on that spread. This spread was cool. This is why I like mixing in scrapbook pattern paper in my journals, because it just gives me some extra texture. And this spread is about an event at the kids' school. It was called International Night. So I made a lot of Icelandic like images. I used the super tips to make the background. Oh my gosh, I'm like brain farting right now at what that's called. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I used a lot of vintage images and the Northern Lights. That's what it was. Okay, anyway. So this is another spread from International Night. I have my vintage computer there and my aliens glue stick image. And the girl is vintage holding the glass of milk. And then that's Pocket Journal Pam's milk carton on top. And that had to do with my daughter's state that she had to do a project on. I guess they were known for milk. I couldn't tell you. But yeah, and then I just used some stickers on there, and I used some paint in the background. I like to start a background with either some collage painted textured paper or some just regular paint right down onto the paper. And I also use tempera paint sticks for kids to add some color in the background. And this spread, I love this because it really coordinated. But that's my art, the Brain Hurts image, and then that's February and June's journaling card on the back. And I put in a receipt from the library. They usually give us a receipt like on what books we check out. So I really like printing those out and keeping them for my journal so I can remember, what we got. And I used this passport, a card from the school event, and made an envelope to store like additional pictures from the event. And this one was interesting. I used like a 3-color challenge. I think it was like red and green and I think black and white, neutrals, but red, green, and yellow possibly. I can't remember. I think it was starting to look like Christmas. But the girl holding the watering can is Susie's Tiny Desk. And I just stapled some notepad paper from the Dollar Tree just to have some extra journaling. And the flower gift wrap, that's from Jenna Templeton. That was a gift. And that the card with the weeds on it on the left, that's from Susie's Tiny Desk. And the bird and the number I just pointed to is from Pocket Journal Pam. And I mixed it with some vintage images. That girl looking at the birds, that represents my daughter. So here I tipped in some Happy Mail and envelope on that page, and this was from Anne. She sent me a lot of nice things. She sent me a little Fauxbonichi notebook with a cover that I could test out. So I tipped in her envelope and just did a lot of art around it. There's Lydia's journaling card again. I think I've used that 3 times so far. But Lydia, that's her mail, like postage sticker from one of her projects. And I have the number and the day of the week. That's also from February and June. And the you are the best image is from her as well. And I did just a little collage just to decorate it up. And I drew my Super Tips box and tested that on the Fauxbonichi paper. And so that was really fun to test that out. This is my Valentine's Day spread dedicated to my husband. I made that jelly piece of bread and the bat that's holding the box of chocolates and the little moon. I'm sorry, I know I'm going super fast, but I just went so fast through this spread. And I made that Tuesday. On the back of the bread, I put the label that came in, or the guide that came in with the box of chocolates. I tried to draw us. I'm not very good at drawing like raw, and I'm too impatient to draw like a sketch before I, ink it up, So that was my poor attempt at drawing. From now on, I'm just going to tape in my ephemera that I make on my digitally. So that's old pictures of him with our babies when they were born. And I also had some art by Susie's Tiny Desk on there. This spread is dedicated to my kiddos, and that's Susie Tiny Desk at the bottom left, her hearts, they look like parents to me holding like their kids. So that's who this was dedicated to, my children. And that's Pocket Journal Pam's February. And then there I used some pink vellum, and I kind of halfway covered the vintage Valentine's card. And that's a vintage fold-a-note that those heart people are on right now. I'm just showing you the difference. The first one's for my husband, and this one is for my kids. So when you unfold it, I have another picture of my kiddos. And I use an envelope to tuck in their artwork because they just give me artwork all the time and it's just too big to decorate on the journal. So that's kind of where I end up putting things. So my daughter gave me a Valentine's Day card in the morning. That's a vintage elephant that I just have a cutout. That rainbow is from Lydia, and that ticket is from Susie. And those hearts are from Pocket Journal Pam, I believe. And I made that little February calendar with the girl holding it up. And that little card is from February and June, Lydia. I think that's really cool how she made her art like on a business card size. It's really neat. I want to do that and like trade with you guys if you have any art. This is another one of those week in review kind of thing, week at a glance, where I just wanted to make sure I got everything down, and every day wasn't necessarily like a journaling day that you make a whole spread for. I have a little tip in that has an image that my daughter made of a fox, and she's 6 going on 7 now. I think this spread is pretty. I like all the colors here. I like the neon green with, the raspberry pink of those Mamba wrappers. Here I did the pad of paper technique, where if you have a lot to write about but you really like the visual art aspect, you can just add a paper pad. Yeah, the caterpillar is a vintage image, and that little doll at the bottom right is from Pocket Journal Pam. The top creature at the right is from Pocket Journal Pam. This spread is got so many cute things. I added a ton of glitter paint. I used folk art glitter paint, and I just went overboard with it. But I didn't have pictures like current day. I just had a lot of pictures I haven't printed out. That's from Pocket Journal Pam. And I just dedicated this one to my son. And that little notepad sheet is from Jenna Templeton. I just love it so much. So I put a picture of my son's little foot in Saki, like the sock from Pororo, which was a Korean cartoon that we watched when we lived there. And I backed her memo sheet with some scrapbook paper just to make it durable. So I love that. I think that was a very colorful spread. This one's another colorful one. And this is dedicated to Neat Stuff. I really love her art so much. It's so nostalgic. And I'm showing you I added this with a tiny brad. I have like an organizer that has a ton of different colors that I got on Amazon. And I just used a bunch of stuff that I have. The checklist sheet is from a memo pad from Dollar Tree. That mail image is from Susie. The sun is from me. And the Monday is from me. The 27 is from Lydia. And that snake is from Pocket Journal Pam. I don't know if you guys want me to say who all this stuff is from. You probably already know, but I just feel like I do that in every video. This is another one dedicated to my son. Again, I have old pictures of him when he was little, and that little guy is from Pocket Journal Pam, or actually the big guy. He's so cute. And I just tipped in a vintage flashcard because on this spread I was talking about how, homeschool is tough right now and issues with ADHD. And that UFO, Miss Frizzle, is an image of mine from last August. You can still download everything I made last year. And so I thought this was relevant. It's the version of the Magic School Bus, but in space. And I'm showing you those dates and numbers I made for the month of March. And this is really my last real spread because this was bulking up way too much, but I collaged just an art spread. It says "All Hail Guardian of the Night," and it's about the raccoon that we have, Tumbles, that comes by and gets fed every night. And that image is from Pocket Journal Pam that I love, the one she drew of the raccoon. So yeah, that's it's coming to an end. I'm sorry I don't have more to show you. This was my last spread I was attempting, but it just nothing would stay stuck in the spine. The previous page was my halfway mark, and there's just too much paper. It was just too big. I tend to put way too many scrapbook pieces of paper and regular paper in, and then I never finish a journal. So you can see a video that goes more into detail about that in my last Make a Journal with Me. And I show you that I just really limited the sheets of paper that I added. So right here, I'm just showing you how bulky this is. And I'm like, I'm just trying to teach you, don't ever do this again. Don't do this, yourself. So anyway, I'm sorry that was so fast. I'm just so overwhelmed. I had a root canal this week and just so much is going on. I'm trying to do really creative stuff for Patreon for next month. So I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for hanging in there with me. And I just love you guys. I hope you're doing awesome. I hope you have time to create. I hope you're being creative. You do have talent. You do have skills. You just have to learn and you have to practice. You have to work at it. Thanks for always being here, guys. I would love to have you subscribe and like the video so we can stay friends. And I'm just showing you briefly my new journal for April, which I like a lot more. And until next time, I hope you guys do well, and I love you. Bye.